Students and young adult readers all around may have different education, but one thing isn't different for most of these people. When it comes to reading, at some point in their lives, there comes a point when educational reading starts to become less enjoyable. What ages do students start to find reading less enjoyable? Why do students start to enjoy reading less? Does this issue affect how they're learning in the class? And what ways we can fix this issue with students not wanting to read. When kids are younger, most of them love nothing more than sit down and look at a picture book. As they get older, it starts turning into simple sentences that just describe the picture and what's going on. So at what point in growing up do students at school start to lose interest in reading? An article from the Washington Post on kids' interest in reading says that attitudes toward reading peak in early elementary school years. With each passing year, students' attitudes toward reading drop each year. If the issue of students enjoying reading less every year is true, then what is causing students to lose interest in their reading? For me, going through school, I think that I started to lose interest most between 8th grade and my freshman year of high school, when I started to take honors English. It was the first time in my life teachers had really demanded a lot more work in reading than I was used to being given. What made it even worse was it wasn't readings I could relate to or even care to read. It was readings like Shakespeare and the Odyssey. It didn't even seem like an English class. It almost felt like I should have been given some kind of foreign language credit for these classes. A Washington Post article says that reasons for enjoyment for reading are going down. It's because teachers have higher expectations for comprehension, students are given less of a choice on what they read, more genres, and different purposes for reading. I know how saying less of a choice but more genres sounds contradicting, but having less choices and more genre makes it worse because there are all kinds of genres out there that just aren't enjoyable. And then you don't even get to pick the book you'd like for that genre, so it's just almost like a double loss for that student. It's not making them want to read anymore. Students who read and don't want to be reading that book or novel don't get nearly as much from what they read. They pick up bits and pieces of what they have read. They don't get the full information what they need to get from the book. I know for me, I would sell myself short and try to get around the reading, just like a lot of my classmates I had in high school. I would get assignments and I wouldn't read them to the best of my ability. I would slack off and try to find a movie or a summary on what we're supposed to be reading for class. Going off of that, from Cultural Anthropology on why don't students read, it says that ways to increase the satisfaction for students reading is to assign appropriate material but not assign too much, tie the reading to learning objectives, and consider the audience you're assigned the reading to. It also says to make their reading count by giving some kind of credit for their work they have done.